Hey boys and girls, so this is going to be our video 2. Miss Russell is videoing today and Miss Pennington
Hey
is
guys!
helping with the projection at Miss Russell's computer. So again, we're just working on the packet that MD set up for us. The last video, we talked about how to figure out words using context clues and the vocabulary practice. So if you will, in your packets, turn to the first story after the vocabulary practice. It's called Flying on the Ice. And go ahead and go to number 1. Remember that we taught you to go ahead and read the questions to know what you're looking for. Know if you need to read the whole story or not, because if you don't need to, you don't want to waste your time and you don't want to spend more time on the questions than you actually have to. So number 1 says, what does the word crouched mean as it's used in paragraph 6? So we've already set it up that all I have to do is go back and read paragraph 6. And I'm looking for the word crouched. Paragraph 6 says, Riley retied her skate laces and crouched next to Craig. Get on my back, she said, and Craig did. Riley started skating, but Craig didn't feel like he was flying. It just felt like a wobbly piggyback ride. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go find that word crouched in the sentence, or in the paragraph. And then I need to know how crouched was used in this paragraph. Riley retied her skate laces and crouched next to Craig. Get on my back, she said, and Craig did. Riley started skating, but Craig didn't feel like he was flying. It just felt like a wobbly piggyback ride. Now, if I remember taking a piggyback ride, because that's what Craig said it felt like, I know that in order to get on somebody's back, that person has to like squat down or crouch so that I can get on their back so that they can carry me around. So which one of these options makes you think of a piggyback ride? A, spun around. No. B, bent down. Well, that person's got to bend down so I can get onto their back. So maybe. I'm going to put a star by that one. C, stood up. Well, when she crouched next to, so I know that she's got to go down, so it can't be stood up because that doesn't make sense. And D, fell over. And that one doesn't make sense either. So the answer has to be bent down. Just to be sure, I'm going to reread it back in my sentence. Riley retied her skate laces and bent down next to Craig. Does that make sense? It does. And it means the same thing as crouched. So bent down and crouched mean the same thing. Now, if you'll turn in your packets to, now if you'll turn in your packets to number 4. We're just going to do the same thing. I've already read through the questions. I know that I don't have to read the whole passage in order to answer some of these questions. So I don't want to tire myself out and get too exhausted from reading if I don't have to. So number 4 says, in paragraph 16, what does the phrase, like being a snail, help the reader to understand about Craig? So I know that I'm looking in paragraph 16, and I'm going to look for the phrase, like being a snail. Paragraph 16 says, Craig watched them. They made skating look easy. He tried to skate like them, but when he let go of the chair, he fell. So he grabbed onto it again and inched along. His skate blades went scritch, scritch, scritch instead of the swish, swish sound that his sister's blades made. This wasn't like flying at all. It was like being a snail. So I need to ask myself, when he's skating, is he going smooth and steady like the other people that he's watching, or is he kind of having trouble? I know that he's having a little trouble because it says he went scritch, scritch, scritch instead of the swish, which means they were moving along like it was natural and easy to them, but he was having a little trouble because he just started out. And I also know that a snail doesn't run fast like a cheetah. A snail moves really, really slow. So in my head, I'm painting this picture, I'm using that imagery, and I'm thinking of a snail. And I know that a snail moves very, very slowly. It doesn't get where it's trying to go very quickly. So my answer choices say he skates very slowly. Does that sound like a snail? It does. So I'm going to put a star because I can't go ahead and pick my answer. There might be a better one. B, he moves in a crooked line. I know that he's going scritch, 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 but being a snail doesn't mean that if he's skating like a snail, it doesn't mean that he's going crooked. He could be going straight. He's just not going very fast. C, he searches for a place to hide. Well, it doesn't say anything at all about trying to hide, and I don't know that snails try to hide, so I can't pick that one either. D, he looks like all the other skaters. Well, I know that he doesn't look like the skaters because he says his skates went scritch, scritch, scritch instead of. So look at the word instead of. We know that that shows a difference. So if there's a difference, we know that they can't be the same. He can't look just like them because there's a difference. So the correct answer is A. He moves very slowly because he's moving like a snail. I hope that this helped you with your comprehension side of the packet, and I hope that you'll look back at some of the other videos and maybe that'll help you out too. Bye.